In 1962, a pro boxer passed away in the ring, and the reason will shock you. Emille Griffeth was a gay boxer who had 28 wins and 3 losses at the time of this fight. During his lead-up to a welterweight championship fight versus Paret, he had a lot of anger due to homophobic comments that were made by Paret. This led to a great fight where Benny seized a moment to go for a knockout. However, what happened next was completely unexpected by everyone. Griffith rocked Benny into the ropes and started teeing off on him. Many of the punches were hard and damaging, but with no doubt, the right uppercuts to the head are what eventually gave Paret so much brain damage he immediately collapsed and entered a coma. He died 10 days later, and professionals blame it on many different things. A lot of them say this is all the referee's fault. Ruby Goldstein was an ex-pro boxer himself with an amazing record of 55-6 with 39 KOs. A lot of people argue, even putting that aside, that he failed to uphold the most important part of his job, fighter safety. He clearly allows Paret to take way too many full power blows to the face directly after being clearly rocked. You see, when a fighter gets rocked by a punch, 9 times out of 10, they're going to become confused and unaware of what's going on. This is when the ref's job becomes extremely important. They should be checking the face and body language based off specific training they receive to determine whether or not to stop a fight, call for a standing 8 count, or award a knockdown which starts a 10 count. This is even common enough that many fans of boxing that watch a lot of fights can pretty accurately make a call like this themselves. For example, in the recent bout of Usyk versus Fury, Usyk lands a good punch that clearly rocks Fury. This then leads to Fury stumbling around the ring, dodging but also receiving many dangerous blows to the head. People point out that the fight could have been called off for less than this, and many fans were wondering why it wasn't stopped. With that in mind, it's absolutely fair to say this fight between Benny and Emille should have been called after just 1 or 2 uppercuts in that corner. I mean, he received 7 good, hard, accurate shots before the deadly uppercuts even start, and there's 7 of those, by the way, followed by 5 more hard punches that land to his head. It was during those last 5 that ref decided to call the fight. You can argue that he couldn't fully see the face Griffith, and that's why he didn't call it, which I unfortunately have to say that makes sense, and it could just be an unfortunate situation where a ref has a bad view, so he doesn't fully understand what's happening. However, there is another theory that it could have been his weight. If you look on his box rec, he clearly fought at around 155, and his most recent fight, just a few months prior, was at 156. So it's entirely possible he had to drain himself a little too much for this fight. You see, when boxers are making weight, they sometimes will dehydrate themselves and rid themselves of a lot of things that add weight but are temporary, such as water weight.
I've seen numbers from fighters who oftentimes drop a lot of water weight before a fight that they can lose up to 20 to 30 pounds within a 48-hour period. So you can lose a lot of water weight. Your body is about 60% water, so there's a lot of water that you can lose.
They will sweat as much as possible, urinate as much as possible, all to shed water weight so they can just drink it back before the fight. Some fighters are able to lose, then regain upwards of 25 pounds doing just this. Releasing stool and not eating hours before a weigh-in also helps to shed some temporary body weight. These can be extremely dangerous methods, however, and are usually not even fully legal. When your body is dehydrated, it affects your brain and body by lowering your pain tolerance. It causes you to be more susceptible to seizures and brain swelling, and even increases your chances of your body going into a coma. So, if Emille Griffeth did indeed use these techniques to make weight and wasn't able to properly rehydrate, then absolutely this contributed to his unfortunate death. However, I will say that he had a history of doing this if you look at his box rec. He fluctuates between around 144 and 156 all the time. However, that doesn't mean he's invincible and able to just do this forever. I personally do give the ref a lot of blame in this situation, though. He clearly allowed far too many dangerous punches to be thrown when he wasn't supposed to. If Emille Griffeth was dehydrated in the ring, then it was even more dangerous for him to take blows like that. Emille Griffeth, later on, met the son of the deceased Benny Paret. It was a beautiful interaction, but also a heartbreaking one. Comment your opinions below. I want to know what others think of this situation. And please subscribe if you learned something from this video.
Griffith. It's a pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure meeting you, sir. Are you the kid's son?
But I want you to know that it's there's no hard feelings here, and
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I didn't go in there to hurt no one,
I know.
but things happen.
I know.
It's just, I always wanted to meet you too, you know.
So have I.
With your mommy.
My mom, it's hard for her.
I understand.
It's hard for her, but
I understand. It's very hard for her.
One thing I can say is that there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings at all.
This is probably the tamest round of the entire fight. Not there. There's Paret was blocked again. Griffith blocked him. Paret against the ropes, almost helpless. A minute to go. And they're going to stop it. They're going to stop it as Paret sags to the canvas. Paret goes down from sheer exhaustion. Look at him there. As his handlers put his mouthpiece out. Dr. Schiff is coming over to look at him. Paret has collapsed from exhaustion from that beating on the ropes. And Dr. Alexander Schiff of the commission is trying to get at him. The fight has been stopped, and the winner and new champion is Emille Griffeth, but we're more concerned about the condition of Benny Kid Paret than we are about the title at the moment. We're going to have an interview with the winner. The time is 2:09 of this round. We'll have an interview with Emille Griffeth as soon as we find out how Benny Kid Paret is.
The time, 2 minutes and 9 seconds of the 12th round. The winner by a knockout, and once again, welterweight champion of the world.
I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something from it. I did use an AI voice generator to read the script that I wrote. I wrote the script and everything. I also used some AI photos, which is obvious. If you mind the AI voice, let me know if this video ends up getting views, of course. If you didn't like it, please let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm actually very curious to see if anybody cares. Everything in the video was done by me, except for I just needed the AI to read it, because for some reason I just couldn't get it to sound natural. It just sounded weird. And I'm not that good at reading anyway, but I did write it and everything. So anyways, comment down below all your thoughts on the whole situation. It's a sad story, but it is what it is. That's why safety is important.